I'm Kinsey Schofield here with Kevin O'Sullivan. You watch us together on The Political Asylum with Kevin O'Sullivan. And I had to tease this episode because I know that there are a lot of people anxious for it after this news. Kevin, we've debated it for months, potentially years. The Daily Mail claims they have the official answer that Netflix vows to stand by Prince Harry and Meghan Markle after 5 years of absolute frustration, chaos, and misery. What's your verdict? We'll get into some of the details, but I'd love your initial reaction because I got to hear it and I loved it. It was pretty good.
I am skeptical, to say the least. This emanates from a season launch event for Netflix in Los Angeles. And it's the chief content officer of Netflix, Bella Bajaria, obviously telling some journalists who approached her and said, what about Harry and Meghan? Are they for the chop? And Bella Bajaria has delivered a very upbeat kind of message saying, no, we're very excited. We're very excited to still be working with Harry and Meghan. And she was particularly excited about With Love, Meghan, the cooking lifestyle show that they postponed back in early January. And won't come out until March the 4th, which doesn't indicate great excitement to me. Now, she also talked, this woman, Bella Bajaria, about Meet Me at the Lake, the book that Harry and Meghan have optioned to turn into a film. She said it's in development. Well, actually, it's in what they call development hell. Nothing has happened with it at all. Whether or not Meghan finally gets to grips with it, I don't know. But I believe that what we're talking about here is an executive of a big broadcasting company, Netflix, talking up what they're doing. I've been to many an event like this, and I'm sure you have too, Kinsey. You go up to the chief content officer or the chief executive or the marketing director and say, hey, this contract, these programs you've got coming up, are they crap? And they never go, yeah, they're really crap and we're really disappointed and we're going to axe their contract. They never, ever say this. So, look, I genuinely hope for Harry and Meghan's sake that they hang on to this Netflix contract. But reading between the lines of this story that the Daily Mail has published, let's wait and see. At the very least, Netflix, again, if you read between the lines, what they're kind of saying is, well, we've got With Love, Meghan coming out on March the 4th, and we're very excited about that.
Netflix has supposedly vowed to stand by Harry and Meghan after years of chaos, failures, and let's be honest, flops. But let's ask the real question here. Do we actually believe that? Because I sure don't. And neither do Kinsey Schofield or Kevin O'Sullivan, who break this down beautifully. Bingo. See, here's the thing. No company is going to publicly admit they've wasted millions of dollars on a bad investment. Netflix isn't about to go on record saying, yeah, we regret signing that deal with Harry and Meghan. Instead, they're going to spin it, make it seem like everything is great and hope the media buys it. But behind closed doors, I guarantee you they are looking at those ratings and asking themselves, why are we still funding these two?
I think the translation for that is we've got With Love, Meghan coming out on March the 4th, and if that tanks like Polo did, like everything else they did, they're history. They're gone. So a lot is riding on With Love, Meghan still. So, I don't want to be sort of downbeat about this, but I think we're in a holding pattern here. Let's wait and see how With Love, Meghan does on March the 4th. And if Netflix are so excited, as Bella Bajaria said, why at this big launch event was With Love, Meghan not even mentioned, not trailed, not banner headlined, nothing, not even mentioned. So this was to launch a whole raft of upcoming programs. We've got this.
Well, she was mentioned, Kevin. She was just the butt of the joke. She was mentioned on
yeah,
stage.
but not by Netflix.
Exactly. But she got her mention. I just don't think she liked what the mention that she got.
Yeah. So Netflix are not even putting her in the package. So I'm sure Netflix's attitude is this. Well, yeah, look, we'll stick With Love, Meghan out. and we'll see how it goes. If it's a smash hit, hey, maybe we're back in business. But Bella Bajaria also went on to say, yes, fantastic, this take on Meghan, the lifestyle, California, Montecito. Montecito? Yeah. Who cares about Montecito? There's a
where she wants her privacy.
There's a fantastic article in the Sunday Times over here in Britain, just this Sunday gone by, which the writer, very good writer called Kate Glass, she went there and did a great big feature and described it as Montecito as the most boring place she had ever been to in her life. It is a pharmacy store. It is anodyne. It is beige. It is full of very rich white people, and all the people of colour do all the service industries. They're the waiters and the gardeners. I think it's a community that needs to be looked at, actually, in terms of its diversity, because it's kind of non-existent. However, Kate Glass said the most boring place she'd ever been to in her life. I've been there a fair few times when I used to live in LA. I used to go up to Santa Barbara for the weekend, and I can confirm Montecito just makes you want to fall asleep. So if Netflix is saying, oh, everyone's going to be so excited to find out all about Montecito, forget it. It's a cure for insomnia. So her excitement, and she said, oh, it's a great show, and you get to look at it and you think, oh, I gotta make that pasta dish, or pasta dish as they say in America. No, that's exactly why it's not going to work. Nobody cares about pasta dishes. Nobody cares about Montecito lifestyle. I think it's a very bad concept at the wrong time. I mean, bringing out a program about how to make expensive food for your expensive friends in your expensive mansions at a time when most of America, like in Britain, is suffering from the cost of living crisis is tone deaf, to say the least.
This right here tells you everything. When you have insiders, not British tabloids but US entertainment reporters, saying that Netflix executives are tired of Meghan Markle, that's a red flag. Because let's be honest, folks, Hollywood loves royalty. If you can't make a royal connection profitable in America, you're doing something wrong. Now let's talk about Meghan's so-called big comeback project. With Love, Meghan. A lifestyle shows where Meghan cooks, decorates, reads poetry about how difficult it is to be famous. Who knows? But what we do know is that this is Netflix's final test for Meghan Markle. See, Netflix is pretending they're excited about this show, but let's break this down. This was supposed to be released in early January. It got pushed back to March. In Hollywood, delays like this are never a good sign. It means one of two things. Either the show is a mess or Netflix is hesitant to invest more money in marketing. Either way, this is bad news for Meghan.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just to jump off what you said, that the chief content officer, there was an hour-long presentation of Netflix's biggest projects for the year. Zero acknowledgement of any Archwell project. So no Meghan, no Meet Me at the Lake. And when they were asked if the movie Meet Me at the Lake was definitely coming out, Netflix insisted it is in development. It is a great book. She had it, and we are happy to do it. That's not an answer. They added, we have things in development. Everyone is excited about what is coming. I mean, it is just Chat GPT not answering a question while saying something, basically just, talking in fluff. Asked where Netflix specifically stood with their deal when it came to Harry and Meghan. Netflix told the Mail, we have Meghan's new show coming out, which is great. It is such a great take on a lifestyle show and showcase for California, Montecito, and nature. It really has great takeaways. I was like, oh my God, I want to really do that pasta. That's really great, easy takeaways on life. I'm really excited about it coming out. Kevin, that's not a yes or a no. That is verbal vomit. That is not a yes or a no. I feel like there's something disingenuous about this entire article to suggest that Harry and Meghan are a complete go, or that anything I just read to you came off as a vow to stand by the Sussexes after 5 extremely difficult years. You remain excited. Of course, you're going to say you remain excited. I'll say this, I'm with you. I'm not saying that I hope anything is lost, because I would never wish anyone any sort of negativity. But if this is a go, and I'm incorrect, that I think that this headline is an exaggeration on somebody just trying to BS their way through an interview, and knowing how litigious Harry and Meghan are, if she did say anything that even remotely came off negative, Meghan would jump at the opportunity to use that to say that's defamation, or the reason my show bombed is because of that one comment made at Netflix's upfronts events. The way that Harry and Meghan's friends said that Netflix took control over the Polo show, so the Polo failure was actually on Netflix, not on Harry and Meghan. But let's say it does work out. It does seem in line with one option that you and I have previously discussed, the case-by-case scenario, or project by project. You bring us a project, we'll consider it. But I think, Kevin, the idea of the mystery development deal is out. There is no return on investment when it comes to the Sussexes. But I think Netflix clearly likes access to royalty. I mean, someone should probably tell them that Fergie is cheaper. I think it's pride. They don't want to look like they've made a bad business decision. And we suspected a commitment when we learned of Netflix's interest in the merchandising aspect of Markle's lifestyle pursuits. But I don't think that this is truly a yes. I think at the end of the day, it's probably like, well, let's try Meet Me at the Lake, and then we'll see what happens. But that mystery business deal, we just want you to sign on the dotted line so that we have exclusivity to you. Why, when you're walking down red carpets for Paramount and you haven't promoted a single project for us? And then also, to your point, really quickly, I want to say I've driven around Hollywood. There are no billboards for Meghan. There were billboards for Harry and Meghan. There are no billboards for With Love, Meghan.
And folks, let's be real. This show is going to flop. Why? Because no one is tuning in for a Meghan Markle lifestyle show. This isn't 2016 when she was still on Suits. This isn't 2018 when she was a new Duchess and people were curious. This is 2025 and people are tired of her victimhood act. Meghan doesn't have the charm of Martha Stewart or the authenticity of Joanna Gaines. She has nothing to offer in this space.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, when Netflix first signed the Gruesome Twosome up, what was it, 3-4 years ago, you know, that was a good kind of business maneuver. You know, they were in the news, everybody was fascinated by them. How was their life going to be in America? They've just done Megxit. They were making headlines all over the world. I can see why Netflix signed them up. Now, here we are in 2025. And, you know, make no mistake, Netflix are extremely disappointed with what they've got out of their relationship with Harry and Meghan. I mean, Meghan's done her best, but it hasn't been particularly productive. I mean, Harry has been a disaster for them. And any organisation in the world of media that, for example, made that series Polo, Harry's series Polo, and look at that disaster. No organisation in the media is going to go, oh, that's great, we're still very excited about these two. They're going to be going, hang on, that was the tank of the year. That was an absolute catastrophe. This couple, I don't know. As you say, they bring them a project and they're interested, yes, maybe. You know, that would always be worth doing. But as a lot of publicists, image makers, executives in Hollywood are now saying, after the consistent allegations of serious bullying of staff against Meghan in Britain and in Montecito, and the recent 8,000-word destruction of her as a boss by Vanity Fair magazine, people in Hollywood are going, this too, they are literally saying, this pair are absolute poison. They are toxic. And no media company wants to gather around toxic people. So here's where I'd say Netflix are. They are prepared to roll the last dice with Love, Meghan. And who knows, maybe it'll be a massive international hit, at which point they might do more projects with her. But if it flops, you know, forget it. That's where I would say Netflix are at. And they won't be signing another $80 million, $100 million contract. Because although they got some stuff out of Harry and Meghan for that money, it wasn't enough. And now they're still in receipt of this enormous amount of money. And what are we looking at, really? A stupid little cooking show, you know, freezing edible flowers into ice cubes and making pasta. And a movie that isn't.
Which you could get on TikTok. You don't have to wait till March 4th to get some of the BS that she's put on the show. You can get it on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram within seconds. There's nothing original about this, which is why it's so funny that this lady is trying to brand this as some miraculous discovery, this show. It's like, if I want to make a good pasta, it's as simple as a Google search. You know, it's not like Meghan is presenting us with anything that is unique. But you covered entertainment for years. You lived in Hollywood. And I want to ask you about this. Netflix has a reputation for frequently canceling shows prematurely, often after just 1 or 2 seasons, which leads to significant backlash from fans who feel that many of their shows, good shows, are cut short before they have a chance to fully develop and reach their potential. And this is primarily due to Netflix's data-driven approach, is what they call it, to decide which shows to renew based on viewership numbers, even if a show does have a dedicated fan base, or, you know, like that cult-like fan base. Newsweek points out the challenge is verifying these numbers because Netflix is so secretive regarding viewership for their shows. And you know, they compile their own most watched lists internally, but we don't have access to this.
All right, so let's move on to Meghan and Harry's other big project, the film adaptation of Meet Me at the Lake. Now, when this book deal was first announced, the media hyped it up like Meghan was the next Steven Spielberg. But here we are months later, and guess what? Nothing has happened. See, in Hollywood, when a project is in development, that can mean a lot of things. But when a project is in development hell, that means it's going nowhere. And folks, Meet Me at the Lake is going nowhere. There is zero movement, no director, no cast, no production updates. It's just sitting there collecting dust. And here's the thing. Netflix is brutal when it comes to cutting dead weight. They've canceled massive shows with huge fan bases because they weren't performing. Does anyone really think they're going to keep throwing money at Harry and Meghan when their projects keep bombing? Of course not. At this point, it's hard to ignore the pattern. Every project Harry and Meghan touch fails. They had the biggest PR boost imaginable when they left the royal family, and they squandered it. First it was Spotify calling them grifters. Now Netflix is quietly backing away. Hollywood has figured them out. They thought they could sell their royal status forever, but guess what? Without the palace behind them, they're just 2 angry ex-royals whining about their problems. And that act, it's getting old.
Business-wise and industry-wise, does it reflect negatively on Netflix? We don't have the numbers. They did give us the numbers for Harry and Meghan's initial show. They've been incredibly secretive about part of Invictus, Live to Lead, Polo. Industry-wise, will other people in the streaming industry frown upon Netflix, you know, cutting some really incredible shows like Lock and Key, some really creative, fun shows prematurely, but hanging on to this couple that seem incredibly problematic, dramatic, and with a questionable work ethic, almost lazy and not creative?
Well, they're going to be subjected to what everybody else is subjected to. I mean, the media now, broadcasting, is a numbers job. You can see exactly how many people are watching, when, for how long. Engagement's very important. If you get an hour-long drama, you'll be surprised how many people don't bother watching it for the hour. Most broadcasting companies are very happy if they watch for 20 minutes out of 60. They go, well, that's good. So these are all the statistics that they're taking on board. So time and time again, you're going to get big fans of very good shows who are furious because Netflix just axed them because they're not getting the numbers. It's ruthless. Now, Meghan is going to get subjected to that kind of really dangerous scrutiny. I mean, minute by minute, second by second. They do it in my business as well. We are monitored second by second by second. You can watch exactly what the audience is doing. And so I do a nightly show that you're often on, Kinsey, and they are watching the graph exactly what the audience. If you say something they don't like, the graph will go like that. If you're doing a topic they don't like, it will go like that. And then if you're doing a topic they do like, they go like that. So they go, yes, more of that, more of that, more of that. Stop doing that, more of that, more of that. That's what it's like now. And Netflix are no exception to that syndrome. They are watching not just minute by minute, second by second about global engagement to shows. And the question for Meghan is, will she pass that extremely onerous test? It's going to be tough, I think.
So what's next? With love, Meghan flops. If Meet Me at the Lake never gets made, what do Harry and Meghan do? Because at this point they have no talent, no credibility, and no real audience. They can't go back to the royal family. Hollywood is losing interest. What's left? Folks, I think this is the beginning of the end. The Netflix deal was their biggest golden ticket, and if they lose that, it's over. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe.